My name is Brittany Ball, and today I'm going to be talking to you about child abuse. I'm going to set a timer for 10 seconds. In this 10 seconds, I want you to think, what can you do in 10 seconds? What does 10 seconds really mean? Okay, 10 seconds was over. What is 10 seconds? 10 seconds to you could be another drink of your coffee, telling your kids to be quiet while you're listening to this presentation. But in reality, according to childhelp.org, every 10 seconds, child abuse is reported. And in this speech, I'm going to hit a few topics. Number one, the stats behind America's child abuse. Number two, the long-term effects of child abuse that we don't see and what we can do to stop it. So first, what does child abuse entail? Many people believe it is just physical abuse, but when it comes down to it, it includes sexual abuse, emotional abuse, physical neglect, emotional neglect, and what we have to remember is bruises aren't just on the outside. There are so many internal things that people harvest onto, and we just have to notice that. And that being said, physical abuse tops the charts. According to the CDC, 28.3% of abused children are abused physically. Between physical abuse and physical neglect, we lose on average 4 to 7 children every day in the US. And that doesn't seem like a lot, but when we look down at it, when you're taking your kids to kindergarten, when you break it down, that's every 4 kids. And the ones we don't lose fight a constant battle for the rest of their lives, which leads me to my next topic, long-term effects. Children who are abused are 80% more likely to end up with one of these many illnesses. It includes depression, suicide attempts, sexual reproductive issues, and even STDs at such a young age. And they're also at risk for having multiple sex partners, unattended pregnancies, illicit drug abuse, alcoholism, and criminal activity. Why? They're looking for things to numb their underlying issues. They're looking for love from other people. They're wanting acceptance and to feel loved by somebody else. These escape routes is what leads 75% of children abuse victims to be in either prison or treatment facilities. CDC says 14% of all men in prison and 36% of women in prison were abused as children. 2/3 of the people in drug treatment facilities are abuse victims, leading abuse victims to be 9 times more likely to be involved in criminal activity. How do we break the cycle? How do we watch for the signs and symptoms? Well, first, you need to know what to look for. First thing, don't be afraid to speak up. Report if you feel something going on. Don't whimper down. And you need to watch for the signs and symptoms. But first, you need to know the signs and symptoms. Bruises, cuts, scars, poor hygiene, malnourishment, behavioral changes, withdrawals, low self-esteem, and more. And if you see these signs, report them. Be open. Be open in the way that people can come to you. Make yourself approachable to any child or teenager. If a child comes to you, follow these steps. Listen, empathize, be a role model, and promote positive interaction. Don't let another kid become a statistic. In this 4 to 6 minute video, I have talked about child abuse, long-term effects, and prevention. And in the beginning of my video, I talked about 10 seconds, what 10 seconds can mean to you. And I hope after watching this presentation, you have realized in 10 seconds, there are so many kids out there that are being affected. In this 4 to 6 minute video, all these kids that we're losing or are being torn out of their houses because it's not safe. So just please, please take a stand with me. And I hope you can take something with this presentation. So, thank you.
What are you doing?
She's doing something for her class.